What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we're on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. So I just finished watching Immaculate. Finally, it was a movie that came out earlier this year, and it's been on my watch list for a good while now. And because a lot of people have been talking about this movie being pretty good, actually. And I would actually echo that sentiment. I think Immaculate is a pretty good movie. I was kind of surprised with how much I enjoyed it, to be honest with you. And there will be spoilers past this point forward. I would recommend going and checking it out. I bought it for $10 on Vudu, and it was 100% worth the $10. It is a pretty good watch that might end up in my top 10 when it's all said and done at the end of the year. So spoilers from this point forward. I was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked this movie, and honestly, it's a testament to the ending, more so than anything. I think the last 30 minutes of this movie is just pure gold, and it's not like Barbarian or even like Malignant type of like last 30 minutes where it just goes so bonkers that it's hilarious. I just think that they're able to dive deeper into the mythos of what's going on with the story, that it just goes off the rails, and it's 100% earned with that slow build of the first hour of the movie. With that being said, if you're deciding whether you want to watch this movie or watch The First Omen, there is a better version of this film, and it is called The First Omen. I reviewed The First Omen a couple weeks ago, and that is not the exact same movie, but it's very similar, and The First Omen is much better than this movie. But don't take that away from it, and don't not watch this movie just based on that little opinion right there. 100% you should go watch this movie. Immaculate is a pretty good horror movie. Now, some of the things I just did not like with this movie. One, I am not a fan of jump scares. They feel very, very cliche. They feel very just shoehorned, like almost kind of like they're just cheap scare tactics for a horror movie. I think if you are making a horror movie, yes, you can incorporate some type of jump scares into the movie for sure. Like even The Conjuring did it, but The Conjuring did it in a way that was unpredictable. Like you thought it was coming, but then they delayed it, or it just didn't come, whatever the case, shout out. And they were able to play with your expectations with those jump scares. This, you can see the jump scares from a mile away. They're not very unique. They're not very original. Very, very predictable. And after about the 15th jump scare in the span of like 30 minutes, okay, guys, like, did we put any thought into how to make this a horror movie other than jump scares? So that is a huge criticism for the movie. Now, one thing that I wish they would have done better, but it doesn't necessarily detract from the movie or make it worse in any way. I just think that if they would have done this better, they would have made a fantastic movie. So at the very end, she ends up going into the catacombs underneath the church, right? And to me, the way it's filmed, it's like they had ideas of making the catacombs a very scary place, and rightfully so. It's dark as fuck in there, right? So to me, they could have made the catacombs just absolutely terrifying. And you get a little piece of it here and there with the way that they're going around the corner with the cameras and whatnot. So to me, the idea was there. They just didn't execute it properly. So I just wish they would have done the catacombs a lot better. Maybe make it a bigger set piece and really, really lean into the horror aspect of the movie with the catacombs. Like, that shit should be absolutely terrifying. One thing that I do want to mention that scared the fuck out of me in this movie, and by scared the fuck out of me, it almost made me pass out because it grossed me. And for people that know me, know what I'm talking about. She pulls off one of her fucking nails in this movie, and I about passed out, guys. I am a paramedic, and there's only like two things that really just fucking bugs me or just grosses me the fuck out. One of those, anything with teeth, and then anything with fingernails. I can't fucking stand it. So she pulls off her nail, and I about passed out. Like, that legitimately one of the most horrifying things that I saw in this damn movie. And I wish I was joking. I'm not. But the other aspect of this movie that I think is going to go unnoticed, or not many people have really talked about, that I've noticed, Sydney Sweeney puts on a pretty good performance in this movie. And I think sometimes it does kind of dive off a little bit where it looks a little cheesy, but she really elevates the character Cecilia in this movie. And I thought she did a pretty damn good job, honestly. I don't think I've seen her in anything other than Madam Web, which we fucking know how that went, right? So she's able to bring a lot to the table when it comes to her character. And with that slow build up from the very beginning of the movie, the first 20 minutes I know they're necessary, but the first 20 minutes is so fucking slow. I was interested in it, but I'm like, okay, when's shit gonna kind of pick up here? Because it doesn't look like it's picking up anytime soon. So that slow build up until the final act, the development of her character makes that ending 100% earned, because they show that slow dive into madness, hopelessness, and then she kind of claims that final girl-esque courage to really take matters into her own hands. And that ends with the final shot of the movie, which is her raising the boulder and then crushing the baby underneath it. I thought they utilized the hour and 20 minutes very, very effectively. And like I said, they're able to develop the characters enough, develop the story and that world and the lore behind everything enough to really make a very satisfying movie. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I would recommend buying this if you had the opportunity. $10 is a perfect price for this movie. And you should definitely watch it if you're a horror fan. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Immaculate. And is it actually better than The First Omen? It's not, but you can tell me in the comments below what you think about it. But also in the description below, we have links to all of our social media accounts, which we'd greatly appreciate it if you went there, like, subscribe, follow all the accounts that we have. It would greatly, greatly help improve and expand the podcast. But guys, with that being said, that's going to be it for me, and I'll catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.